All right, guys, welcome to a new episode of 6 Feet Under with Mark Calaway. To start off this episode, we're going to crack open a nice happy dad.
Get it kicking right away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's kick back, enjoy a happy dad on this episode with our fans. And guys, crack open a happy dad yourself and enjoy another episode of 6 Feet Under. That was special that we kind of started hitting on at the end of the episode with Dallas was DDPY, what Dallas has done to help out the wrestling community, and what I think is, if not the greatest documentary, one of the greatest documentaries in history was Resurrection of Jake the Snake and what you did for Jake. And I would just like to learn, and hopefully our audience can learn a little bit of how that process happened, how you guys got reconnected, and what that whole journey looked like for both of y'all.
You want to start or you want me to?
Jake's already laughing.
Go ahead. What a lot of people don't know, you know that Jake lives with me. Over that time in Atlanta, we called it the accountability crib. And I'd reached out to my people. I said, Jake Roberts is going to come in to, try to get healthy. And what should we call it? And I got a list of names. But one of my girls came up with accountability crib. I was like, wow, that hits on all levels. Now, before that ever happened, when we were working together, Jake being, coming in WCW, he took me under his wing, man. And me, him, and Kev, we were sitting at the foot of Yoda on the road. And at some point, it was a falling out between him and the company. I tore my rotator cuff and I'm out. A lot of people don't know I was gone for a year because I got let go, but I came back. But I came back mainly because Jake spent so much time with me. And one of the things that had happened when I tore my rotator cuff was I got a call from him, and he'd been out of the company for months at that time. And he said, I heard you tore your rotator cuff. How you doing? And we started talking, and I found out him and his wife at the time were split up. And I said, I'm going to come by and see you at the Marriott. I went over to my wife at the time, Kimberly, and I said, you think Jake Roberts could take that, room we got downstairs until he finds a place? And she's like, sure, go for it. So I went and told him. He came back. And Jake, as soon as he walked in my house, man, I said this on the show with you guys last week, I was so excited to get in the ring and learn from Jake. And he told me something that I'll never forget. He said, you're going to learn way more sitting on the couch because you film every match you ever had, and we'll go over those, no matter how bad they are. We'll go over those. And
you knew, huh?
Yeah, he knew. He knew.
I just messed up.
No, he knew. And he said, you're going to learn more on the couch, just understanding the psychology of what you're doing out there and when to do what and how. He goes, you've already got the moves. You just don't know where and why you're doing them. And that was the beginning of us getting together. And as time went away, his shoulder got better, and Jake's, he's doing weekend warrior stuff. And eventually he started pulling me into the shows that he was in. I wasn't getting paid hardly any money, but that's what I deserved. Hardly any money at that point. I wouldn't earned it. But it was like going and having, the master be out there with you and critique things as they went along. So that really helped everything. And it was going pretty smoothly until he lost a 12-foot black cobra in my house.
Whoa, wait. You lost a 12 foot, like 2 foot higher than a basketball rim,
right?
Foot cobra in his house.
I was letting it bathe.
Well, let's back up. Let's back up a little bit. I'm hearing Kimberly laughing in the living room, and I'm in the back in the bedroom, and she's Jake. Whatever is Jake doing, make her laugh. I go, what the hell's he doing? And as I walk down the steps, I see Jake in the black cobra, and he's got the glove on,
right?
and he's playing with the cobra, and I'm just walking right by that because I don't want to be any part of this. She's having a good time. Let's go leave it at that. And he told me to call this booker up that, he had greased the wheel. Now I just had to book myself. I'm on the phone for him about 10 minutes, get booked. I'm pumped. I get out. Now the laughter stopped. And as I'm walking in the living room, Jake comes down the stairs. Big problems, big problems. I go, big problems? What's the matter? He goes, we lost a snake. I go, fuck you. He goes, no, I lost a snake. I go, bro, you didn't lose a snake. Don't rib me like that. He goes, I lost a snake. I had him in the bathroom. What was he doing?
He was bathing.
He was bathing.
I gave him privacy just for a moment.
So what ends up happening, I go, you're serious? He's like, yes. I go, let's go up there. So a lot of people, you may know this, but a lot of people don't know that Aurelian Smith, Jake's original name, is afraid of snakes. Like, you don't know, do you? It's a shoot.
No, it's just funny. It's funny that a man's made $1 million, millions of dollars carrying around a snake
that he's scared of.
I'm scared of it.
Until he becomes
That's the
Jake
truth.
Roberts, right? So literally, we're both looking through the the door, like one head on top of the other. It's only that this bathroom's only this big. Got a tub over here, vanity, little toilet. There's nowhere for him to go.
It's not 12 foot, right?
It's really 12 foot.
No, I'm talking about the bathroom.
Oh, it's not 12
Yeah,
foot.
yeah, yeah.
No, it's not 12
Okay.
It's
foot.
about 6 foot.
Yeah. Maybe it was 8. But
Uh,
whatever it was, now you can see he's not on the floor. He's not in the tub. Where the hell is he? So Jake gets on his hands and knees, and he goes, oh, and he hits the vanity here. Because cobras go and snakes go. So Jake says, "Oh, no problem." He went under the vanity. He'll come out, and he gets up and go. I go, "Where you going? Get him out." He goes, "No, I'm good. I'll be back tomorrow morning." I don't realize he's got a serious buzz going at this point. I don't realize.
what
now
were the
it's-
chances, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was kicking in good too.
it
So,
was. A lady
go,
of the
"Bro."
evening waiting downstairs.
I'm like, "Bro, get back up here. Get the snake out." Now Kimberly's going to sleep at this point, so. So he goes, "I'll be back in the morning." And he's gone. Now I'm thinking, oh my God, we've got 2 cats, and and now I'm just imagining something happened to the cats because the door handle, you could do this to open it. So the cats would jump up and open doors. So I put 2 pillows out in front of the doors. And what can I do? I go to bed. I'm not going to go in and get the snake.
Yeah, no.
So I go to bed around 8 o'clock in the morning here. Paige, what? Why are these pillows in front of the door? Is that snake in there? Where's Jake? Get him, Jake. I get up. Listen. It's okay. The snake's just under the vanity. She goes, under the vanity. She goes, they don't put the sheetrock all the way down when they put a vanity in. What if he's up in the walls? I'm thinking, what if he's up in the walls?
He's in the wall.
I go, he's not in the. Now I got to heal on her. It's going to be fine, Jake. I'm getting soapy, spooky, run around and grab the cats. And friggin' Jake, I end up she says, I'm going to the Ritz. Jake's paying for it. She leaves. Jake doesn't come back for 3 days.
Time got away.
Nothing unusual.
Nothing unusual there.
I got to call the snake wrangler. He pulls that front board of that vanity open, and there he is. And I'm thinking, thank God he's not up in the walls.
Oh, my
Because I've gotten visions of laying eggs in the walls. And so bottom line is, he goes, is he devenomized? I go, I don't know.
No. It's a good question.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Did
You
you
have a
ever lose
12-foot cobra in your house and you don't know if he's
Did
got
you ever
venom?
lose a snake any other times? I mean,
Yeah.
that was a thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
lost one in Australia. Yeah. And what's funny about that is Thunder Jushin Liger.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah.
He's terrified of snakes. So he wouldn't dress where we dressed. No problem. Well, I lose the snake. Don't know where it's at. Liger has a locker room on the other side of this Coliseum. During the last match, you hear a scream, and you see Liger run across the Coliseum with a towel wrapped around him and just screaming his ass off. Evidently, he was coming out of the shower, and as he walked by the toilets, the snake come up out of the toilet and was looking at him. Well, he thought, that's enough. I'm out of here. He left the tour.
He left the tour.
Left the tour, and I had a lot of damned heat over that.
I would imagine.
Jake with heat. Can you imagine that?
No, I never. I don't know.
But I
don't know
never
that.
got that one back.
It,
He's still in that sewer over there, I guess.
Mark, of all of our sponsors, we probably get more responses for Bluechew than any other.
Yeah.
Guys, have a better time in the bedroom with Bluechew. Bluechew is the original brand offering chewable tablets that make all your bedroom activities just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Such as.
Well, you know.
Oh.
You know.
No, okay.
You know.
No details. Okay.
Yeah, you know what Bluechew
I got
can
you.
help
I
out
got you.
with.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you know what it can help out with. Bluechew is putting its money where its mouth is and offering you a month free.
Shut up.
Oh, yeah.
are
They
they
stepped
thinking?
up their game in 2025.
What are they thinking?
Oh, I have no idea. But all I know is they're not stopping until every creature of the night is,
Firm.
stiff. The process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days in discreet packaging, by the way.
Yes. That's
That's
important.
key.
Yeah,
That's key.
important.
You don't want the neighborhood
Yeah.
Karen walking by going, "What's that on their front porch?"
Then they're looking it up and then they're talking
Maybe
about
Karen's husband needs some Bluechew and work her out. Bluechew tablets are made right here in the USA. God, I love an American-made company. And prepared and shipped directly to your door. Once again, discreet packaging. You can take them anytime, day or night, for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, whatever you want. It's part of my daily vitamin regimen.
snack on Bluechew.
Snack on Bluechew. So you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises.
See, I see what you did there.
Best part, it's all done online, nice and easy. You're not having to go to a doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Yeah, nobody wants to get their steroids for their wiener at a pharmacy.
No.
Does it work? Well, creatures of the night, find out for yourself and get a month free. If you don't, you could be missing out on the best time of your life. Bluechew will not stop until every man is bricked up.
Boom.
Boom! Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at bluechew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month free of Bluechew. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Bluechew for sponsoring 6 Feet Under. So go to bluechew.com and chew it.
And do it.
That's right. Thank you, Bluechew, for sponsoring 6 Feet Under.
The bottom line is he was out of here, and
I got kicked out.
he got kicked out.
Well, I can't,
Yeah, what are friends for?
Just over a little misunderstanding.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It was,
Wasn't a 20-foot snake.
no, it was just 12.
Now, 20-foot snake, I'd understand. But
Yeah.
It was only 12.
12.
And it wasn't in the wall.
Yeah.
And it was devenomized.
You know how those pages are.
I
You know, you think?
So what ended up happening, we do road shows, even though we weren't living together again. And Jake would get me booked. And eventually I went back to WCW. And the great thing about Jake, if I call him up, I say, hey, man, I got a couple matches. You mind watching? So I'd drive out to Lawrenceville. And, he'd watch him and say, well, but okay, that was okay, but what are you doing that for over there? And he'd make me think and and understand the psychology of it. And I'll never forget the first time I pulled a diamond cutter on a enhancement guy, because that's all I could beat back then. But I pulled a diamond cutter out of nowhere. And it took a while. It took about a year before that started to happen. And he never told me, but I watched so many hours of this guy. I can remember one time we were on the road, a guy came with a box. It was like a crate. It had 40 full tapes of just Jake wrestling.
DVDs, yeah.
So 40 hours of just Jake. And if you look at my style, I do favor him a lot, the different things. But how about the instantaneous, the original out of nowhere? You know,
Yeah.
yeah, the original out of nowhere, and that the guy went to pick me up, and I just caught him out of nowhere with it. It wasn't that big a deal, but it shocked it, and it made people react a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's where that
That's how
started
you get
to come.
attention. Yeah.
And he would look at my matches, like, anytime I ever asked him, well into 1996. So we're talking
yeah.
years. Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome that you do that, because a lot of people don't have enough confidence to do that, right? The people get sold on their own. They
Right.
get sold on their own stuff, and then they don't want to hear anything but the positive,
Right.
right? And that's why I never watched anything back with anybody. I always had to watch my stuff back alone so that I could look at it and went, oh God, that was or that. I wish I hadn't have done that, instead of having somebody, because they used to play the pay-per-views back at
Sure.
catering the next
Yeah,
day.
no,
You know,
yeah.
everybody would gather around, and I can't watch this here. Like, oh man, that was I know what I do good. I need to know what I can do better and where I screwed, what psychology didn't work and what. So yeah, I had to be by myself, quiet, and then just
Well, he's
really
just plain smart.
just dissect it, and always thinking you can do better. Yeah.
And that would come later. But I used to, what I really loved, because I would even attach it to the truck, so I got, even though I didn't get to see that, because it was Saturday night, 6:05 or something, I could still see, because it would be still taped onto my tape. And there were things where I thought, man, this is going to look so good. And that looked like, and the I was worried about looked fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know what camera angle they get.
Oh yeah.
It's like the whole thing, instead of beating yourself up. But Jake it was more of a learning tool for me, and it really helped me accelerate faster and have no ego. Like, if he says it's a shits, it's a shits. Because he's one of the best to ever do it, right?
So both of you guys learned from Jake in a lot of ways. Jake, who did you learn from?
Guys like Buck Robley, Bruiser Bob Sweetan. You guys don't know him.
I know him, but
You know him. But those guys taught me. Bob Sweetan, he taught me how to walk to the ring.
Just
And that was the person who took
how to walk to the ring.
Which he picked up.
yeah. Well, you were the first one to tell me. He says, and I never thought about it this way. He says, "Is your match starts on the entrance. That's when your match starts. As soon as your music starts, your match is started." And it was like, oh.
Well, you took that to heart, because I've seen some of your entrances.
Yeah.
And
They're longer they were longer than the matches. I get my shit in.
You did, boy.
But that's crazy to think, though, that, I mean, just for you to say that in the sense of just how to walk to the ring.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot of that now. It's when the guy's music's hit now, everything's an explosion and stuff.
Well, it drives me a little bit crazy sometimes. Someone will be in the thick of an angle, where where you've really crossed lines and building this angle, and people will come out, they'll come out and they'll want to do their full-on regular entrance.
Yeah, their baby face entrance.
And to a degree, I mean, it's like, I always tell you, you have to remember the last thing that you did,
Right.
whatever the last thing they saw on TV. And if you're getting stretchered off is the last thing that you see, and then you come back out and you're, it's like
High-fiving the fans.
there's a little bit of a disconnect. Now, there's a way to do that. Like, if you want to connect with your fans, that's one thing, but you don't take your eyes off your opponent. You've got a different facial expression. You don't have to look at the face. You can put your hand out, because you're like, yeah, you're letting them know, like, I'm about to get my mind back right here.
But you're focused.
But you're focused, instead of, some of the guys that just, like, they're smiling and they're laughing, and it's like just another day at the office. And it all goes back to storytelling. And again, those are all things that I learned from him. I remember the day your match starts when the music starts, and I'm like, "What the f are you Oh, hey, you're right. You might have a future."
I might have a future. I damn sure got a past.
Oh, yes.
Well.
Jake didn't burn bridges, he nuked them, which we'll get to. But one of the greatest compliment Jake ever got me, and it's along the same lines as the Birds, you know, when Michael, in '97, I pick up the phone, "Congratulations." I go, "Jake?" "Yeah." I go, "Congratulations for what?" "Reinventing the DDT." Like, that was a moment,
Wow.
man.
That's a little chiller right there.
Yeah, that was a moment, bro. I was like, "Wow, okay, that's super cool." And at some point, Jake, you know, starts to go into the dark. And there's a bunch of times, you know, that he'd tell you, I try to reach out to him, I try to help him, whatever, and he just wasn't ready. And go through our careers, and we're done pretty much wrestling. He's still, you know, getting out there and doing stuff, but you know, not in a good way.
Yeah.
And you know, and it was killing me. It was killing me that this cat, get a little choked up there,
Yeah.
that this cat does not get to walk away with his head held high. Like, how can this guy, not him? So it became like a mission, but only for moments. For moments, I would try, and then I'd let it go. And then one day, I was on the phone with him, and I said, "Listen, I'm gonna send you a video of this disabled veteran that I helped." I said, "I'm gonna call you back in about 5 minutes. I just wanna know what you think." So he watched the video, called him up, and, you know, what'd you think when you saw it?
Oh, just blown away, completely blown away. And the small little voice in the back of my head said, maybe there's hope for you.
So I told him, I said, "I knew he was in bad shape, but I had no idea he was, I mean, couldn't go to the ground and, you know, was over 300 pounds. I didn't know any of that at the time.
Right.
And I knew I just couldn't. I was moving to Atlanta, leaving LA, which I'm not an LA guy. I'm a real people town guy.
Right.
And I was moving back to Atlanta, and I was going to get this crib. And I said, "Can you weigh yourself right now?" He goes, "I don't want to." I go, "Can you weigh yourself, though? Do you have a scale?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Do me a favor. Just get on the scale. I want to give you something. I'm going to give you something to work towards. Just tell me how much you're weighing." And he took a picture of us, 307 pounds. And that, you know, Jake wears all his weight here,
Mhm.
you know. And I was like, "Oh, here's the deal. You lose 20 pounds. I'll come down and get you, fly you up, put you up. You won't have to pay for anything. I will take care of it." Because, you know, when a lot of guys go into rehab, when they come out, they're right back where they started.
Right.
And
Well, yeah, you go into a rehab, man, and you come out and you've got a stack of bills this high. And the phone's ringing off the hook, everybody wanting money.
Your life doesn't stop.
Oh my God, you know, and so what do? You freak out and go get high.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me ask you this, because I've heard this, and I had a brother that suffered with addiction. And do you you have to really, and either one of you actually could fill this in for me. Like, you have to be at rock bottom, right? Before.
You have to be at rock bottom, but there's different bottoms, man, for everybody, you know? It's
Yeah.
depending on what your mind and soul can take. But with me, you know, I went to several rehabs, man, trying to kick it. But I'd do 30 days, or I'd do 90 days, or I'd do 4 months. And again, I'd come out and all these people are screaming at me, and I'd just lose it again. But the difference, one of the a big difference was when I went to his place, he made sure that my bills didn't stack up on me. He took care of them. So for me, it was a win-win situation, the way I looked at it.
Right.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna go eat the best food on the planet. I'm gonna train, try to lose my weight, because that was when I really decided I really wanted it, was whenever I lost that first weight.
And he lost in 6 weeks, he lost like 20 pounds. And I was like, stop losing weight right now. I'm coming to get you.
Yeah.
Because for me, just to lose 5 pounds, man, made me happy.
Yeah.
And I'd forgotten what happy felt like. I'd forgotten what hope was. Because when you're down, brother, and you're out, there is no hope. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. There's not just more bad shit's gonna happen. You go to sleep, you wake up and go, how am I gonna get high today? What is it gonna take? Then you work all day to get that same buzz. You never get it.
So at this point, what was the substance of, like, or substances,
all the above.
whatever it took, whatever it took
whatever
to,
was available.
Yeah.
Usually, it was crack cocaine.
I was to say,
that's pretty impressive to get that heavy and be on crack.
Yeah, well, I
at the
worked
same
hard at
time.
You worked hard at it.
Yeah.
Was it real crack?
Well, it was crack, but it was also vodka
Right.
and beer. A lot of beer.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to have something to come down with.
Yeah.
When
Probably
you,
just cheap fast food and stuff like that. Yeah.
when you run out of money, buying the good, you start following down and buying the other. So it was the cheapest damn vodka you could buy. It was the cheapest damn beer you could buy. And you just, keep pounding them, man, so you get a little off that edge. Get that edge off of you. That way you can go to sleep.
one of the things that when we got down there, and I appreciate you guys say what I did, but I have a team of people, that work with me. My business partner, Steve Yu, my people who do the editing and the filming, and my film crew. They all really give a shit.
They all
Like they
pitched in, man.
really do. And like Jake was making maybe $500 a signing back then. Now he makes 10 times that and more. But back then no one could take a chance on him.
On whether you're going to show or not, right?
Yeah. So me and Steve got down there, and he was expecting this, friggin' your house, my house. He was expecting that. And he was in this, he was embarrassed to be there, and he was in such bad shape. Like, when I'm doing DDP yoga, I set people up with a dime a dozen. I'm going to show you how to do one move. Then I'm going to show you how to do one move. So eventually you could pull them all together. After every move, he would have to sit down. And so I said, let's take a break here. A couple of moves. And I mean doing this,
Right.
Yeah, just stretchy.
Yeah, just easy, simple. And so now I said, I wanted him to see what real food tastes like. Like, if he got a celiac, you know what a celiac is? Who's addicted, their stomach.
It's like celiac disease. Yeah.
Celiac disease.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't eat
Okay.
gluten.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
Gluten and
yeah.
all that. A celiac could come to my crib and be like, I can eat everything. Yeah, everything. Because I only have like real food. And if you talk to any centurions, people who made it to 90 or 100, that are still doing what we're doing right now, what they eat and exercise. So Jake, Jake, we get down there, and I'm making food for him. It was really pissing him off. I didn't understand why, but it was really pissing him off that I was in the kitchen making him food. And Steve comes up to me with the camera, and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "I'll tell you when we get in the car, because what I was about to tell him was like, and I did tell him in the car, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to have a normal conversation with my brother again. Because he was booze, pills, coke, crack. When you say, what is he up to? It's all of them. And the fog that's there.
Mhm.
And it took like, I mean, after he was 2 years sober, I was like, oh my God, Jake's back. When he was 5 years sober, I was like, wow, I don't even know this Jake. You know, it was like so amazing. But back then, it's the beginning. So we get done. I go,
A little rough, I can
It
imagine.
was, man.
yeah. I asked him to go. I said, Jake, let's go to the floor. We'll do stuff on the floor. So Jake leans, and then just takes a bump. I go, what the are you doing? He goes, you told me to go to the floor. I said, yeah, lower yourself. Well, that's how I lower myself.
Oh, man.
It's like, okay,
Couldn't do it.
okay. So now he's on the way. He's friggin' lost some of the weight, and we're gonna move him down. And the first week, Jake is an angel. Like he is so he's washing dishes.
snake.
Yo, he's being like, who's this guy?
Mhm.
And he's about to go on the road because he had a booking that he had to
Right.
do. And then I wanted him just with us for a while. And your price will go up. We're going to reinvent you.
Mhm.
That's what we were doing. Similar to Scott, but completely different, right?
Yep.
And I said to him, Steve comes up to me and Jake was going off to go get ready to go. And he goes, D, if there's no, conflict, Jake's being amazing. Don't get me wrong, but if there's no conflict, we really won't have any kind of a documentary. And I looked at him and I said, remember you said that.
Jake,
Don't
you're
worry.
not gonna
We've got
disappoint.
Jake.
I
the
saved
snake.
the
You're
day,
not gonna
brother.
disappoint.
Well, Mark, we're halfway through this episode.
You know what that means?
The only way to get through it is some first form energy.
Yep. So we are the only ones not asleep.
Oh, man. Well, first form energy, got a little screaming freedom here.
Oh man.
If you guys want to be able to make it through the rest of this episode, crack open a first form and get some energy with us, because that's the only way we're going to finish this episode out, I think.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good, man.
Yeah, they're all good. Thank you, First Form, for sponsoring 6 Feet Under. Jake knows how to tell a story about
Yeah. That was the weekend. Remember in the beginning when we were in the car? He doesn't have his shoes on. He doesn't have his shoes on, and friggin' that was that weekend. That was that weekend. And I'm like, fuck, he couldn't do 7 days. And it was the only time I ever took it personal. After that, it was like I started to understand the word that goes with every addict, and I never understood it before, but shame. Because and the thing that I loved about working with Jake is that, like, I wanted to learn our craft. I wanted to learn it more than anything. And he gave me that. Him and Dusty. Don't ever let me leave Dusty out, because without Dusty Rhodes, there is no Diamond Dallas Page. So he gave me that knowledge. I knew he didn't want to be that guy. He didn't want it. Once he got to that, I can do 3 beers. Yeah, you're not like this on 3 beers. When you get to 5 or 6 or some vodka or whatever you're doing, then you just change.
Yeah.
And that's when you know the addiction is what it is. There's plenty of addicts who are functional and they drink every day, but they're functional. He was not. And I was, for what he did for me, we're going to go to the bat. And over time, there were times where I said, dude, I ain't quitting on you. You quit on you. That's on you.
Right. Wow. Tough love.
And nobody'd ever done that. Nobody'd ever got into the fight with me. And all I had to do is keep my mouth shut and just do what they told me to. That's exactly what I did. I didn't like some of the shit, going to a damn meeting every damn day. Those damn meetings are tough, man, especially when people recognize you.
Yeah.
There's nothing like walking out of an AA meeting and there being 20 people outside with cameras and shit. waiting to take pictures and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything for your shame. But also, I mean, one of the first things that happened after that weekend is from then on, I didn't travel by myself.
That was huge.
The
Real big.
accountability.
Yeah.
That was huge. When Jake just said keep his mouth shut, there was a point in time, because there was shit. I explained to him, I was like, when you can drink and party in your 20s, you're a rock star. And you can still do it in your 30s. You're a mega star. You're still doing it in your 40s. Man, maybe you should start to want to try to change up. You keep doing it in your 50s, you're a dirty old man. So it got to the point where I'd say to Jake, I don't care. If there's something you need to say, and it's something that's with someone in front of you or around you, say the opposite. I don't give a what it is. Say the opposite. And it was because he wasn't this guy.
I had no filter.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. And that's tough.
Yeah. And for you, Jake, you come back from that weekend and you have to face Dallas, and it was I remember that part of the documentary. What was your mindset going back to Dallas's house? Were you in a mindset of I want to continue to drink and do drugs, or was it I've got to get back to Dallas's house?
I got to get back to Dallas's house. And the shame thing had already kicked in, you know?
Yeah.
So I was whipped. I was whipped, man. Because as soon as I knew I was drunk.
But he ain't going to admit it. He ain't going to admit it when we're there.
Not then.
Yeah.
And he wanted to hit me. You wanted me to hit him. Hit me. Go ahead, hit me. I go, I'm not going to hit you. You know?
Because I wanted to punish myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? That's what's dangerous, when you start punishing yourself.
Shoo. That's deep, man. But at least you sensed and you knew where your safe place was.
I knew where my safe spot was, man.
Yeah.
And I knew that he wasn't going to give up on me. So that made me try even harder. Each time I screwed up, the pain was even more. Because I knew not only had let myself down, but I'd let my brother down too, who was going out there and sticking with me and fighting for me and doing all the right things. I hated letting him down. Which is crazy. You think that you give a fuck about yourself, but at the time I really didn't, When you get off where I was at, man, you don't give a flying fuck about yourself. If you did, you wouldn't be there.
Was that the first time you felt like you had somebody that was a real friend in your life?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That just wasn't your friend because you were Jake the Snake Roberts?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, knowing how cynical we get being in this business,
Yeah.
and no offense, but a worker's worker.
Yeah.
Are you having those discussions, those thoughts in your head, and those discussions with your crew and your team? Like, did you feel like, is he just working me? Does he really want to?
No, we had such deep conversations, man. That where he could go deep, and that I knew that if I just, all right, we're starting all over again. Like, let's just kiss that off. It's kind of how I deal with my whole life relationships. If it's something bad and do we acknowledge it? Do we move forward? That's gone to me. You know what I mean? Like, let's start again. I'm trying to think of the quote that I heard, not forgiving or letting go is like you swallowing poison and expecting the other person to die.
Right.
Yeah. And Jake, again, like I said, I know, during COVID, during COVID, I got this great picture I'm going to give you guys so you can pop it up there. But my daughter's Brittany's living with me, my granddaughter. Jake was coming back and forth, and of course, my wife Paige is there as well, and she was my girlfriend then. But Jake kept leaving to make money. And he was just for this period of time. He was staying with me until he got his own place, which he was really on his way to doing. But it was COVID, right? So I was like, Jake, if you, and then, AEW offered him a deal. So now they want him to come out and work. And he's like, he goes, D, I got to go do it. I go, you got to. But when you come back from this next trip, you can't leave again. Because I bought into all that, the whole COVID thing. And,
Oh, did he?
And I did, big time.
There's a lot said right there.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm a completely the other way now.
Enough said there, Jake.
Mask them up.
Mask it up, baby. Put those groceries outside. We'll come out with the spray and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, and
let's go to the gun store and buy a lot of weapons.
Oh, boy, we have weapons everywhere.
Well,
that part we can allow.
I can understand that part of it, but
so he's he's out because he can't come back, and he stays at a Marriott. And by this time, there's one person at the Marriott, the person who checks you in.
Right.
There's no
room
service. There's
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
There's no one to eat. There's nothing to eat. And I saw him write something, I can't remember what it was, on Twitter that was dark, And I called him up. I said, I'm coming to get you. So I go by Brittany, and Brittany loves him. And I said, I'm going to go get Uncle Jake. And she's like, oh, we're all in this friggin' COVID thing. Oh, but he's got family too. Can't he stay with him? Can't he stay with them?
Jesus.
So I say to her, I said, little girl, I said, I don't own this house. I don't own it without Jake. She went, you're absolutely right, Dad. You're absolutely right. Because again, without the platform of wrestling, we're not here. They're not taking wrestling, take me out of that spot. We're not talking about DDP yoga.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
No.
It needed, that's what God gave me as a platform. Work your ass off. Inside my Hall of Fame ring, it says work ethic equals dreams, ! DDP. And I try to give that to everyone. Like, what were you saying right before we went in there? Need some positivity, D.
Yep. Well, I don't mean to digress, but why does my ring say made in China? What the hell is that?
No shit.
I'm sorry. I didn't I need to get mine. I need something a little more deeper than that.
Yeah, so just made it.
I'm really feeling inadequate right now. But yeah, wow.
So the bottom line is that Jake, he fell along the way, and we'd start over again. And that's one of the beautiful things about Resurrection, which Resurrection Jake the Snake's on Amazon Prime right now, and it's getting more views. I can tell by people who are hitting me up, and it's made such a difference. And he hated that movie documentary. He didn't hate it when he first saw it because he knew he had to have it, and I wasn't going to put it out because that guy, Barry Blaustein, not Barry Bloom. I love Barry Bloom. Barry Blaustein, who did what was that thing called?
Beyond the Mat.
Beyond the Mat. I mean, that you might as well just sent Jake on a, that was bad. And I told him, and he knew, and my guys knew, like, if he doesn't love it, no one will see it. That was our deal. No one would see it. And then after he saw it a couple times, he felt embarrassed. But then tell him about the kids that come up.
I started having people come up and just thank me, my own kids. And man, I wanted back in with my family.
Mark, I like a little nicotine.
Do you?
Oh, you know me and cigars.
That's true.
Yeah, I like a little nicotine. And we got a new partner for 2025. Nicked.
Yes. The
Yes,
pouches,
they
man.
got the pouches. Much better than any ones that I've tried. And there's plenty of other competition. You know who that is out there. But if you're looking for a way to get your nicotine fix without smoking tobacco, because my wife absolutely hates when I go outside and smoke a cigar.
Really?
Yeah, because I come back in.
Oh,
and
you smell.
I smell like an ashtray, and she
Yeah.
can't stand it. So when I want that fix, and I want to keep her happy, maybe I'm on a plane ride, in church. I don't know. Throw one of these in.
Yeah, these aren't frowned upon like if you
No,
did,
no,
like
no.
if
Because
you
I mean, this
dip
is just
or-
nicotine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a pouch and it's clean and it's
And Nicked is super thin. You can barely see it when you put it in. This is the peppermint one here. It smells like something you open up in your car, and it's a nice, refreshing smell. They got like 10 flavors.
Yeah, I've got
What you got there?
I've got the 6 milligram. What do we got here? We got
Berry lemonade.
berry lemonade.
That's like a drink,
Right?
Berry lemonade.
It just looks happy.
Yeah, it looks happy. They've got them in 3, 6, and if you're a brave boy, 12 milligrams.
12 milligrams.
12 milligrams. I think 12 might be a little much for me. These are 6s that I got right here. 12 might be pushing it for old Matty B. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can handle 12.
Listen,
If I did 12, I would say it'd be a bad day.
Bad day?
It'd be a bad day for old Matt. I'm not doing that. Also, guys, these things last up to 2 hours, and you can barely tell that I have it in. All right. So today, make the switch to Nicked nicotine pouches. You're going to love these. Right now, our listeners are creatures of the night. You get 35% off when you order through our exclusive URL. Go to Nicked, NYKD, pouches.com/6feet. Get 35% off. Special offer isn't just for your first purchase. You get to use it up to 3 times.
what?
Yep. This isn't just a one-time deal. Up to 3 times. Don't wait. You get 35% off now at NYKD Nicked.
That's an incredible deal.
Pouches.com/6feet. That's nickedpouches.com/6feet. Now, just remember, Nicked products are only for adults of legal age, Mark, and every order is age verified. Don't be trying to sneak around out there. The product does contain nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. But if you don't want to smell like smoke and you're tired of dealing with tobacco, switch over to Nicked.
Clean alternative.
It's a clean alternative. NickedPouches.com/6feet. NYKDPouches.com/6feet. They got all kinds of crazy flavors, 10 of them. Go check them out. Thank you, Nick, for supporting the 6 Feet Under podcast.
Dallas and them pull them out. My twins and my daughter, oldest daughter. And they seen it, and I could see a twinkle in their eye with the tears. And man, I knew it was a good thing. I knew it was a good thing.
And all the kids at your one-man shows.
Yeah. People coming up and thanking me for helping somebody in their family. Said, you really helped my dad. And there are. If not, it was people coming up saying, at least now I understand my dad. And that's pretty wild, People having a little forgiveness and a little
Grace.
grace, and just being part of the whole, let's do a little love with this, instead of just beating the dog. Because the dog's dead. The dog is dead, brother.
I find it amazing, and that is just at a whole nother level of the platform that you had, and then to have people come around, and I do my stand-ups and have people come up to me, and completely different reason. It was just because my character was so different, and people tell me that you made it okay to be different. There's so many times that I was gonna do something really bad to myself. I had my plan and my thing, and you don't think about that. You don't think about that stuff when we're out in the grind and we're doing it and we're on the rise or whatever until, now I get this opportunity to speak with people, and it almost, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but man, it's like there was a purpose for your pain.
Exactly.
To bring it all the way
All the
around
way
and
around.
help others.
Yeah.
You're something different. You're
Yeah, he's a
you're a
freak of
saint,
nature.
angel, walking the earth kind of person, and I say it all the time that you are just a different cat. You are, and
Well,
I mean that in the
I know you
most
do.
highest regard when I say that. But to be able to make it to the other side and now be able to affect people in that manner and to save lives.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone, above anything else, should be
Oh, it's very
motivation
satisfaction.
and
too.
satisfaction and
Oh, it feels
motivation
good.
to continue that journey, man. That's
Yeah,
just
I have, man. It's 12, 13 years now.
that's amazing,
And for you
man.
being willing to go on that journey and allow Dallas
To
to
film
take
it.
you on that journey, how many people's lives it has affected, and
Oh,
you've been able
geez.
to see that. I mean,
Thousands.
yes, and with all the great things that you did for wrestling and for my childhood, and to be able to be vulnerable enough to allow a camera
Yeah.
to film you in some of your lowest points of your life, because we don't ever want,
It wasn't easy, I'll tell you that.
and I could imagine, but it's helped so many other people.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one of the things that happened, because in anybody who's watching this is the only thing we get to control, even though we have no control. No, you have control. It'll all come down to the story you tell yourself. And that's the one thing I got Jake to start to understand. But it didn't happen right away. It had to be repeated and repeated. Repetition's the mother of learning. So we're in the kitchen. It's just me and him. There's no cameras or nothing. So this was not in the documentary, but it absolutely would have been if we would have caught it on camera. And Jake comes down, and he's so mad at himself, and he punches the marble counter. He goes, "I'm such a loser." I go, "What the are you doing?" He goes, "I'm a loser." I go, "No, you're not." He goes, "Yes, I am." I go, "You know what? Come here." And we walked through the living room and walked into the bathroom, and had a mirror, you're looking at it. I said, "What do you see?" He said, "A loser." I go, "Stop saying that. Look at the shirt you're wearing." And if you watch the Resurrection of Jake the Snake, that time where he gets in trouble and people say he was drinking and he wasn't, but he was, but he wasn't. He's wearing this shirt, and it was a white t-shirt with a skeleton that's red. And he's like waving a red flag that says wasted youth. I said, every time you wear that shirt, bro, you remind yourself of how much of your life you have wasted. I said, you wear Charles Manson shirts. I go, would you want that piece of shit
A hero.
anywhere near your kids? He's like, God, no. I go, why would you put him over? You should be wearing positive energy, unstoppable. You should be wearing never give up, something like that. You got to start
Positive
seeing it.
reinforcement kind
Right.
of stuff.
So
Yeah.
I got a bunch
Really?
of shirts made. He got them made for me.
Well, wait, let's stop. Don't tell me what you said. So he comes downstairs 20 minutes later, and what'd you have?
Oh, I can't remember, bro.
Okay.
I came up with the
He created a T-shirt, and on it, it said, what's your line, dude? My history.
will not be my destiny.
And that became his voice. Whenever he fell down, whenever he got back up, it's like, before you walk out to the ring ever, are you ever saying negative about yourself? No. It's the same thing. It's going to be the best match I've ever had. I'm going to blow them away. I'm good. Like, when I got to do my Hall of Fame speech, I knew it was going to be the best thing I ever done, ever, up till that moment. And I knew I was going to grab the people, because I got to thank everybody who made this ridiculous dream come true. Because it's never just you. We all have those people. But do you give them the credit? Because and a lot of our people do that, because they do know, if pretty much starting out, it's a 1 in a million billion chance you will get
Chance
that.
that you'll make. Yep.
That you'll get a job, never mind be that level.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a story you tell yourself.
Man,
And
wow.
you change this mindset, and from there, when did you start seeing that physical change in him to be able to
Oh,
go
right
from the guy that
away.
couldn't even bend over to
Right away.
how long was that timeline?
Probably a month.
Really?
When you start to see, because again, you gotta remember, I'm feeding them real food. Go back to the centurions. How do you get there and how you have this great brain that you can still use? Food, real food, and exercise. And
How was the detox
I was
process?
just thinking that's so funny. That's exactly
Well,
what was
that was a
was-
gift. I
Really?
never went through the weebie-jeebies or nothing, man.
that I was
Really?
shocked. I was
Really?
shocked.
You know, I expected it bad. I thought, the crack dreams were
Yeah.
the worst. I had a few, but I was able to shake them off.
Just
'Cause
shake them off?
Do you
Yeah.
think that it may have had something to do with the energy that's burning with
Yeah, all
with
the
the
positivity,
exercise
man.
and the well,
That's so great you said that. You look it up. Hope molecules. Exercise creates this. I don't know it enough to speak it like spot on, but they've found that exercise, the art of that, when your body or your muscles are engaging, and with DDP yoga, we're always
Always
engaging
engaged.
muscles. It creates a positive attitude. They're calling it hope molecules. I thought first, this is some foo-foo thing.
right.
No, it's in science books now. It's if you just look it up on, Google it, it'll come up. Boom. It'll tell you what it is and how they decided it. That story you tell yourself and exercise. So they're eating real food because that's all that's there.
Right.
And it tastes great, so that makes it a lot easier as well. The food tastes great. Well, it's not really different. They don't know. And what really helped him was starting to help others. Scott Hall. I get a text. How I remember it. I think it's a little different than this, but how I remember Sean Waltman, X-Pac,
Mm-hmm.
Kid. I'll always call him Kid, and Kid sent me a text saying that, love what you're doing with Jake. And this is how I remember it. Can you please reach out to Scott? He said he's got a gun and he's going to kill himself. That's how I remember it. Now, Steve is right there with the camera, right there. And
This is in real time.
this is real time. We're filming, and I get a call. I go, wow, look at this text, or I think it was a DM, and it's Twitter or something. But either way, it was a text, and I read it right to the camera. And when I tell you I've called Scott Hall, friggin' dozens of times, and never had him pick up the phone,
Hmm.
ever. Would he call me back? Sometimes. I called him up, and this is when Scott's at his lowest of low.
Right.
And he answers the phone, and he is so annihilated. It took him a while to understand that it was me. Oh, Dally. And what addicts go through is they start telling you the same story every time they see you, over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And, remember back in New Orleans with me and Kev, we did you the favor. Like, yeah, I do, bro. Never forget it. It's one of the reasons why I'm calling you, And he said, I got Jake here too. Who? Jake? Jake. He goes, man, I heard he was like he had some attacks on his stints or whatever. And a kid came in and he said, hey, Scott, DDP can help you. Look what he's doing for Jake. Because we put videos up on him because
Mhm.
we wanted people to know that this guy is going through the change. I'd gone to see Triple H, our buddy Paul, which, by the way, you guys, the Hall of Fame thing.
Oh, we got him. We got him.
That was you and Sean. That was so, man.
That was a covert operation right there.
That was priceless, bro. They go and get you guys and get him because he never would have put himself.
Oh, he never. No.
Never.
No.
DX that's different because there's other guys involved.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but Briggy, he never would have. So that you guys did that was so sweet. So
Some would say too sweet.
too sweet. Yeah. So the bottom line is he tells Scott about it. He goes, "This kid came in my room." He goes, "They tell me that you're doing good things." And he says, "I'm sober 60 days." He goes, "You got 60 days in, and I'm drinking vodka for breakfast." So he goes through this thing, and then we cut it from like 15 minutes to like maybe 2.5 to get the point across.
Mhm.
By the end of that conversation with me and Jake, now down like 30 pounds, 35 pounds, he's looking better, he's feeling better, he can move. That's what happens to people as they get older. Because they get stiff, they think they can't do it, so they don't do that. Then
Mhm.
they don't do this, and they don't
Gets
do
even
that.
worse.
Yes, yeah.
The movement is everything, functional medicine, and that's really where all of everything that I'm doing is going. That's why I'm doing the retreat in Panama City Beach. But back over to Sean. So we talk by the end of that conversation, bro, he gets that positive vibe. This is the best I've felt and I don't know when and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to come. I'll sleep on the floor. I got a bed for you, bro. We got a bed. It was just me, him, and my daughter Brittany at the time was living with us again. And in the beginning. And so she made sure all our food was friggin' amazing and tasting great. And it took about a month to get Scott there, but he got there, and he was rough, man. I didn't think he would ever look like that.
Remember his hip?
Oh, the hip. When he would be in any kind of a lunge or a warrior position, you're clink, clink.
Yeah, that's why mine was like that before.
Dude, I'd never heard that before.
It's loud.
Loud. If we're filming it, there's one spot, and I go, "Is that your hip?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Man, that's brutal." He goes, "Well, kill a normal man." You know,
Yes.
Scott was.
I can see it.
Kill a normal man.
Kill normal, man. Yeah, it's so fun.
So when he came in, because he could say to me back in the day, "Dally, you don't know. You're not. You're a civilian. You don't drink like you don't know what it's like to be like this." I say, "Hey, bro, Jake does." So now we're like tag team, and we're tag teaming Scott, and to see what that cat turned into, like unbelievable. Like the Mr. Movie Star again.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. So that's really what it came down to was wanting to help other people to me is the greatest gift. When I was 22 years old, and he's a Bible thumper from, I think, Texas, Zig Ziglar. Was, I think, like 98 or something like that now. But I heard him when I was 22 say, "You can get whatever you want as long as you help enough people get what they want." And I've found that to be true my whole life. Does it happen right away? Nope. Nope. And I've found the worst thing happened to me has always been the best. I don't know. I just stick into it long enough, breaking my back. You're done. It's over. You signed a multi-million-dollar 3-year deal. Well, in 6 months, that's gone. In 3 months, I was back in the freaking ring, and it turned into this, and this, and,
Jake, for you go through all of this. What was it like when you got the call from WWE
Oh, wow.
for the Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame. Couldn't believe it. I was shell-shocked briefly. I mean, because I thought they were calling me going to the Royal Rumble.
You thought they were going to put you in the Rumble?
I thought that's what they wanted,
But that was his goal. He wanted.
That was my goal.
Oh, wow.
I'd lost, I don't know, 50 or 60 pounds and feeling pretty snappy. I thought that's what they were calling for.
I'll tell you, we were just talking about him before. Paul, Mr. Triple H. I had called up back when Mark was still there, Corona, and I said, "Hey, listen, this time when I come into Hall of Fame, I said I want to bring Jake with me." let me run that up the flagpole. I'm like, what do you mean you want to run that up
pretty
the
bad, brother.
flagpole?
Well, you got to run it up the flagpole just to have a guest.
Just have a guest. That's yeah.
So I run into Paul just by happenstance at a radio station. I'm doing something for DDP Yoga. He's, of course, is promoting the company. And he pulled me aside and he said, listen, I can't promise anything. He said, but if we have this thing that someone's got to be like sober a year before we will step in and say, okay, you ready now? And he basically told me, he said, if you can keep those guys sober for a year, and I'll never do anything that'll help make them get back to drinking again.
Right.
Because I want to make sure that they're good to go. He goes, and I can't tell you it'll happen. He said, but we both know they're both Hall of Famers. But,
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
But at this stage, no, they're not.
Mhm.
Because you got to represent the company.
I love a midnight snack.
What do you got?
And my favorite is eating cereal late at night.
It's
I
the
know it's
best.
one of yours.
Yeah, it is the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, I don't want to feel guilty when I'm doing it and everything, but I don't feel too guilty when I'm having some Magic Spoon late at night. It's my...
How could you? 0 sugars, only 4 net carbs, 13 grams of protein. You're doing a body good, brother.
Oh, it tastes so good. I love Magic Spoon.
The high protein, keto friendly, gluten free, grain free, soy free, wheat free, naturally flavored, totally delicious, childlike cereal for grown-ups.
That's what it is. Every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs, so you can feel good about what you're eating. The most popular flavors are fruity and cocoa. That's what we've got.
That's what we got, baby, right there.
And there's so many more. Also, they got treats. We're all out of our treats.
That's how good they are.
This is our snacks around the studio. The Magic Spoon brand new treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. And for the first time ever, Magic Spoon treats are available in grocery stores with delicious flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter, which is this one here. And that's probably the reason why there's no more left in the box. Magic Spoon, we need some more. So for our listeners, you creatures of the night, get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/6feet, or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/6feet for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream. Hold on to your Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon, thank you so much for sponsoring the 6 Feet Under podcast and making a delicious product.
And today, more important than ever, right?
Right.
But it was just as important back then, I feel. And he he was going to call me and tell me, and one of our guys, Garrett had said, wait a minute, call Steve first, because Steve loves to catch real life. That's what's so powerful about the resurrection of Jake the Snake. Like, you feel like you're there watching it all happen because you were.
Yeah.
When nothing was ever like, okay, you know what it was?
Take 2? No.
Yeah, never. But at the end, when we do the triple lockup at the end, that was something he'd come up with. Whatever you guys are going to do, do something that's different. And I remember me, Raven, and Benoit doing that triple lockup. I go, let's do that. So that was the only thing like that we actually laid out. But up to that point, he wanted to catch it. So Jake comes in and, I got the call about the Rumble. They're not going to use me. And I'm eating like breakfast. and I'm like, well, at least you got to be on the show and your mom got to see it before she passed.
Right.
Yeah, that was huge. He said, so then when I ate 20 cakes, I'll get over it. He goes, oh, the call is that put me in the Hall of Fame. And it
Spit pop, everything,
Oh,
right?
it knocked me over.
You just put it out there, right? You was working.
Oh,
Always
Jake?
telling the story.
He had that hook gut swallowed, man.
For you, though, when you got that call, everything you had gone through, especially over those last handful of
I'm
years,
back.
is that what that was the
I'm
feeling?
back, yeah. Yeah. And it's sort of like when I first went to AEW. Cody was in the ring, and I walked down to the ring to do an interview. And I remember getting into the ring and feeling the mat, feeling the ropes, smelling it. There's no greater smell, man, than an arena full of people. You know, there's something about that. And just the smell of it. And just gives your body just such a cleansing rush. And it tells you that, hey, you got this. You know, this is yours.
That's a full circle moment, right?
It is, man.
Yeah.
For me, it was.
Such a strong story, man. I tell you, it really is incredible
Yeah.
to know and see where you were to where you're at right now, man. It's just, I hope you, I can tell you do, but I'm just making it just for conversation. I mean, you have to have an incredible sense of pride in yourself
And appreciation.
and appreciate. No, I know the appreciation. I can tell that goes without saying, but but
I did.
even you have to feel good about yourself because
Well, Dallas said he would guide this and show me the way, but I still had to put the work in.
Yeah.
100%.
And I did put the work in. You know, learning how to do those moves without busting my ass.
Oh, you busted your ass quite a few times.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, I did. But finally getting it down. And now I'm back with my ex-wife.
are you really?
Cheryl, yeah. Yeah,
For
24 years. After 24 years.
Are you kidding me?
we
I did
got
not
back
know that,
together.
man.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That is
Yeah.
wow.
That credible?
That is incredible.
Incredible,
Yeah,
man.
man.
That was one of my fondest things of all of this, because I knew when he would been set, because that's when he got back with her, I would come out to Lawrenceville and watch the videos and stuff, the matches.
Right.
And then they'd split up again because she threw him out because he was just,
Had no choice.
Using the shit she had to the kids.
and she, they got, it took a while, but to trust, but man, it was so great to see her with him. Because we'd gone through a lot too, because me and Cheryl, I've obviously been a huge part of his life forever. And we wanted to all get together. So we got to go see Aerosmith up in Boston. I say, goes, we're all going to go see Aerosmith. He goes, so get your tickets. I said, I thought you were going to get tickets. I'm going to get tickets. Get your plane tickets. I go, where are we going? He goes, Boston, their opening show. So we all went up there.
And Aerosmith in Boston.
Yeah, it was great, man.
That was awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Jeez.
For that to happen, think about that. You know what I mean? Like, wow. And I knew this woman he was madly in love with, because they weren't together 10 years. And he wrote Cheryl on his stomach in tattoo. So it's big,
Brilliant.
big tattoo. Big tattoo.
It happens.
It happens.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm glad it worked out for you.
That's what cover-ups are for, baby.
Oh. No, there was no cover up. It was just straight laser to get that ink out.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want no part of that on me.
Oh, I get it.
Get the evil all out of you. Right?
Oh, my
that's
goodness.
But Dallas, from a fan's perspective, I mean, I'll have to say that we absolutely thank you for what you've done outside of the ring. Because I told Jake last night, when it came to the WWF, I grew up WCW. I was in the South, that's what I watched. But when I would flip over to WWF, Flair was my guy in the WCW.
Sure.
Jake was my guy in the WWF. And because I always loved the heels. And that's why the Resurrection of Jake the Snake is, I tell everyone, it's my favorite documentary. Because I got to see one of my childhood heroes overcome something that I know that you weren't in control of. It was controlling you. And because of you, I'm able to get to sit here across from one of my childhood heroes and have this conversation.
Cool as that, right?
It is. And you've been able to do that with a lot of people, not just Jake, but with Scott, with Butterbean,
Butterbean.
with that veteran, and so many other people that just everyday Americans, everyday people that are walking around. So that I want to say from a fan, thank you for using your platform to do something bigger and better that's greater than you, that will live on long after you've gone on to the next life. And Jake, I want you to know that I personally am very proud of you and what you've done and the courage that it took for you to take that first step,
Thank you.
because you were a superhero on those Saturdays, and you meant the world to a guy like me and to a lot of our fans out there. And there's nothing that would have been worse in the world than to lose you to
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. To the disease, man.
And to have you sitting here as a Hall of Famer, sober, and living a great life, we appreciate you.
Feeling good, man.
And that's good. And if it wasn't for you, I mean, these two guys right here might not have ever, got that ring on their hand. You helped shape both of these careers. That's pretty special. You did a lot for this business. You did a lot for this country. You did a lot for this world, man.
Thank you.
So don't ever forget that.
I won't, man. I appreciate you saying that, though.
You mean a lot to this business.
Thanks.
And I know tough guys, they might not say that to you sometimes, but I'm not a tough guy, so I'll say it to you.
Yeah, right.
You mean a lot to us, man.
Does that bump him up higher than Flair, do you know?
I love Jake, but
See,
I'm a
he had it.
I'm
he
a
had
Flair.
He had a chance.
He was
He
my
had a chance.
WWF guy. He was my.
I mean, he had a chance right there.
I was believing.
You right?
And he jerked
I
a
gave it to him.
fucking
I
carpet up.
softballed it. I softballed it
He
for
was
him.
my
and he-
WWF guy, but
man.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm an honest guy.
Yeah, Mark, you could have saved that.
One word.
Woo.
Woo, man. Yeah,
My man.
yeah.
My man.
Diamonds are forever, right? So
100%.
Guys, hey, we can't thank you guys enough. Honestly, Jake, I
Love it,
we
bro.
hey, I can only begin to start telling you what you did for my career and guiding me along, and good and bad. But hey, it's all right. It got me.
Yeah, man.
Hey, the path is and the journey, man. And DDP, I've already told you, man. Like, your career was all right, but what you're doing now, man. Again, you're a saint walking. You're a saint walking the earth, and just keep fighting. No, dude. Well, you may be, yeah. Even saints sometimes, I guess.
they've got their faults.
We all got our faults, brother. But hey, thank you for what you do. And I don't want to get too mushy, but kill my gimmick off completely. But I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I know our fans are going to love this because they've been asking for you guys, and I'm glad we could make this happen. I appreciate you coming down here to Austin, and I'm really excited for people to hear your stories. And
remember, I'm going to close it out with, you're coming, right?
Yeah. Just give me a window. I got to get a window. I'll get there.
You're right around the corner.
I know, brother. I know. I
Nice
shook
and
on
easy.
it. I shook on it.
Nice and easy.
And on that note,
Well, guys,
bring us up. Bring us out.
thank y'all so much once again for coming into town, spending your couple of days here with us. It means the world to a fan and to our fans. So to all of our fans out there, thank you for tuning in to another week. Thank you to all of our sponsors. If you're listening or watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. We'd love for that. And Mark, thank you for showing up another week. We appreciate you.
I was in this part of town.
Still being a part of this. And more than anything, Dallas, Jake, thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being an inspiration. And just keep doing good. That's all I can say. Thank y'all.
See ya.
Thank you, guys.
My pleasure, boys.
Train's
Thank you.
pulling out of the station.